Very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is the 14th June 2026 Sunday class. So we will be continuing our sharing from this book Surangama Sutra. Okay, we gather, then we can have our physical puja as usual. Let us compose our mind, develop the faith, Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the puja chanting. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛。南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无文殊菩萨，南无文殊菩萨，南无文殊菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。阿拉汉萨玛萨布多巴嘎哇。พุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนะมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังคัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิDutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Panati Pata Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Adina Dana Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Kamesu MiccacaraเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาทฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิSadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to Precepts. Buddhang Pujami. Dhammang Pujayami, Sanghang Pujayami. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakkamokadang Dhamma Sabanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sabanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sabanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Vitiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacarana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarti Satta Deva Manusana Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Panayiko Pachyatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Saukasangho Yadidang Cattari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Saukasangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakeneyo Anjali Karaneyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. We will continue from where we stopped. Just to recap, we have completed the first 5 primary elements. They are the element of the physical elements of earth element, water element, heat element, and fire element. Then they all classified under the Mahayana. space as the fifth element. Then the next one they classify is F, the sixth element, primary element, which is awareness. Then the last one, the seventh one, they classify as consciousness. So basically, I better put it on the whiteboard so that it's clearer. You see, what the Buddha did under the Theravada tradition is, the physical body, he simplified into the four primary elements. So four primary elements. This one is physical body. Physical body. So this physical body, I think these four elements are quite common. In other traditions like Mandarin, I think they term it as the earth element, then the heat element. Ti sui for phong. We all in Hokkien, Hong Hui Jui Tho. Hong is wind, for is iron. Hong Hui Jui Tho, then water element. Then we have the earth element as the last one. But anyway, the first four primary elements are the physical body. It's easy to define because instead of, those who study science, they know, we have in chemistry, we study all the various elements. There are, so far, I think scientists has managed to uncover about 200 over elements. And they are all very unique in their structure and formation. And these are the elements that can transform into life form and all these things. Like the element of hydrogen. Then we have carbon, also a very, very major element. Then oxygen is another very major element. Then the other physical element are, they call lead, tin, or the minerals, even gold, and diamond or whatever. So all these are the not so active elements. Then the scientists realize that they have uranium, got isotope and all those things. These are a lot more, I should say, complex elements that can give rise to a lot of usage and manifestation. That's why we talk about the Big Bang theory, how universe, from the singularity, how the first very severe explosion take place. There is the beginning of creation, like from that singularity, or they call nothingness. Although we say it's nothingness, it's all causes and conditions that has been generated actually. Mainly is true what the scientist has realized, the black hole. The black hole related to the dark energy. So the black hole is something the scientists cannot probe because nothing come out of it. And how does a black hole develop? I have already explained in the past. As far as physics and science is concerned, every planet or every major star system, they are very massive. So this massiveness of this planet or star system, they can create what we call gravity forces. And these gravity forces, they obey a nature's law. If two particles, then they will experience a type of force they call gravity between the two. Then there is a formula, I think Newton's law, they managed to decipher under the Newtonian mechanics, which is quite accurate when the speed are low. Then what happens is, every planet that has its unique density will have an escape velocity to be free from the gravitational pull. So our Earth, which is a very small planet relatively, but the escape velocity needed to escape from its gravitational influence is still 5,000 miles per second. You must reach that escape velocity. If you cannot reach that escape velocity, not 5,000 miles per hour, no, per second, no. If you cannot hit that, your rocket propulsion cannot go out of Earth gravitational influence. That's why all the rockets, they have to push, accelerate the space capsule until it reaches that velocity and it escapes. So as we all know, the speed of light is even more massive, 186,000 miles per second. That is the speed of light. So if your escape velocity continue to go up, let's say the star system is so massive when it collapses, this escape velocity exceeds the speed of light. Instead of 5,000 for planet Earth, it goes until beyond 186,000 miles per second, which is a very, very massive structure. Then light also cannot escape. You understand what is the significance of that now? Light also cannot go out now. That's why it becomes a black hole. It cannot be seen, it cannot be traced. But they realize there is something inside there. And there are still speculation as what is inside there. So when they classify this element under the Surangama Sutra, where this is the Buddha's understanding. So the four primary elements is to simplify. Whatever they have earth element quality, they classify as earth. Like all the solid thing is earth element. No matter how science classify it, they simplify it into earth element. Then heat element, whatever they have temperature, under heat element. Then we have the wind element. Wind is all the movement, the whatever, like our breath, our blood pressure, all these are the wind element. And we need wind element. Even the nature's weather, all need wind element to move it. Then after that, we have the water element, which is all the liquid, the cohesion, everything. And this form of classification simplify the understanding. So basically, when it comes to spiritual, we are interested in the physical body. As a physical body, we divide into four basic primary elements. The earth element, the heat element, or fire element, then the water, and the wind. Then after that, they classify the next one as space. So this one is first four elements. Then the fifth element, they classify as space. In fact, space is something that is already inherent in the universe. You can understand it. The universe is very immense, full of space. The elements that are within space is actually very, very minute. Yeah. So this space, they define as the fifth. Then number 6 is, they define it as awareness. The primary element of awareness. This one we call it sati, or our pure awareness nature. Yeah? Pure awareness nature, PA. Yeah? PA, nature. Then number 7 is consciousness. The primary element of the consciousness. So these are the 7 things that actually created the world, the universe, and everything that we come to experience as existence or life. So of all these 7, we have completed the first 5. Then the 6 and the 7 to me is the most important. That's why in the early day I teach you all. I remember at Hsuan's house somebody asked a question, what is the difference between awareness and consciousness? That one I explain it in very, very much detail. So you understand these two, you will understand creation very well. So like through the 4 circle formation, which are the stages of creation, how the universe come into being. So when I explained this, that time I didn't link it to this until the Surangama Sutra came out with the 7 elements. So this 7 element is an easy way to explain the whole thing. So what happened is, from the source, the first thing to arise is our pure awareness nature. This 6 element is the first to arise. Can you understand? Yeah? So after this, where this one is still the unconditioned, we call it the true mind. Why we call it the true mind is because for this nature, which is not a being, but it can actually arise within the conditioned world through the karmic process. Understand? You must have a karmic nature. That's why this karmic process started this. So this form a mind, which is the living being, for our case is a human being, the 5 aggregate. This one need a karmic nature. That's why I always tell you, this form a mind, 5 aggregate form a mind, segmented form a mind of ours, or this physical human being of ours, is actually a karmically conditioned, listen carefully, karmically conditioned form a mind. But the moment this come about, these 2 things is actually inside you. That's why for it to arise, it needs a form of mind. Now you understand. Without the karmic nature, if this one don't arise, you can never meditate to realize this, then cease to realize this. So now you understand. So this creation, we have to start from the source, because this is the unconditioned, we call it the oneness nature, or the source, or the singularity, or the oneness, original nature. Some Mahayana they call it 本来的面目. Means originally it was already there. So this one is neither born nor created. It's the original nature. Then from there, the first thing to come out is this pure awareness nature. But this one, living being, the moment they are born, they don't know that they have this. But when they started to see the creation or movement from here to here, then how the brain, the memory, and the karmic inheritance, that's why the Buddha said you are born of your karma, heir to your karma, conditioned and supported by your karma, and you are what you are because of, and because of that, your DNA coding everything, your karmic coding, your form and mind characteristic, they are all inside that. Understand? So how your physical body develops, how the brain, memory, and the karmic conditioning develop and manifest this form of mind, and the process where you are born and all those things, they are all actually imprinted inside there already. Unless you are a bodhisattva who know how to make the vow and develop all the understanding, then you choose to come, and you can choose what type of body based on the coming understanding and the spiritual nature's understanding. Then when you arise, that's why you can be different from those who are entirely born heedless or deluded through the karmic process. Means birth due to ignorance, avijja. That one, you have to come. You got no choice. You got no say. You cannot decide. Nature, through the karmic process, decide. But the Bodhisattva, with their spiritual nature and their understanding, they can create the movement out of pure love and compassion. It's not through avijja. Then you manifest as a form of mind, not through delusion, through the pure mind. And this pure mind, when it comes, it actually can have the what they call causes and conditions to be connected to your nature. That's why you can develop the understanding and meditate to realize the pure awareness nature, which is your true mind. Then from there, cease it to realize this, either through the sainthood way or the bodhisattva way. Can follow? Then as you are here with the true mind, you see the creation process, the movement. From here, how thought arises through the five aggregate of form and mind. Then input the content of consciousness. Then how through the senses, like the physical experiment, every moment of sense door consciousness, it creates the phenomenal world of consciousness, the sixth sense door, sixth sense consciousness. We are, as a human being, we are conscious being. We can become conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactily feel, and create through the thought processes, the thought consciousness. And all this is what the world is all about, what existence is all about. It is the senses through its consciousness that it manifests that can make us know the world, interact with the world, create phenomena. Then we grasp, we cling, we hold, we deluded and deceived by it because there is not enough wisdom and understanding. That's why entanglement in the conditioned world arises. And this entanglement is the result of how this sense door consciousness actually delude you, lure, entice, and create the karmic entanglement. And through it, that's why I call it the chaotic existential world. Here, a lot of chaos if you don't have the wisdom and the understanding. Then you get yourself deceived through sakkayaditthi, self-delusion, through avijja, ignorant of the nature's law that governs life and existence, especially the Four Noble Truths that can make you noble ones. Then after that, you don't understand the supreme vehicle. That's why you cannot move this direction. You cannot return to here. And most of them have a glimpse of what this is, the sainthood way exists. Okay? So now you start to understand this pure awareness nature. The sixth element is the most important. But most meditators cannot come here, where they are lost in thought. Thought becomes very predominant. Where that is the only instrument in life that they understand. And the worst is our education system, our civilization. Actually, a lot of things, they use thought, technology, science, technology. Even the physical order of nature, biological order of nature, the learning, everything, is all knowledge-based, thought-based. And because of that, they cease to realize that they have another nature within, which is the pure awareness nature, which is before the arising of thought, the knowing. That's why sati is awareness before the perception, the knowing, or the arising of aggregates of mind. And when the aggregates of mind arise, it becomes the seventh element, which is consciousness. That's why consciousness is like a magician. Remember the Buddha said, illusionists, they create the illusionary world of consciousness. That is how it comes into formation. And this is the reason why Surangama Sutra choose this 7 primary elements. Now you can understand. Okay? Now we continue. Then it becomes easier. Because the first 5 earlier on I just skipped through because no point in describing. Because the way they describe is very confusing. Very difficult to understand. So now we come to awareness. We see what the Xianhua's commentary say. So F, the primary element of awareness. So this awareness means our pure awareness nature within. Understand? Or sati. Just aware before the knowing. So the Buddha said, Ananda, you do not become visually aware unless space and physical objects are present. So this is their way of describing it. For example, you are now in Prince Jaitriya's group, where it is light in the morning and dark in the evening. It is bright at midnight, when a full moon has arisen, but dark when there is no moon. At this time, you can discern light and darkness because of your visual awareness. Now, is your visual awareness identical to light and darkness and to space? He's trying to use what they call phenomena to actually develop the understanding, but no need actually. Then he even asks a question, is it separate from them? Is it both identical to them and separate from them? Is it neither identical to them nor separate from them? So these are the inquiry that they have to actually inquire. Then the Buddha continues, suppose, Ananda, that your visual awareness is fundamentally identical to light, darkness and space, but consider light and darkness. Each disappears in the presence of the other. So when it is darkness, it is not bright, it is not light. And when it is light, it is not darkness. Therefore, if your visual awareness are identical to darkness, it should disappear or would disappear when it is light. If instead it is identical to light, it will cease to exist when it is darkness. Once it has ceased to exist, how could it see either darkness or light? So this is their logical way of explaining. So not important. And how could it be identical to light and darkness given that they are not present at the same time? Whereas visual awareness neither come into being nor cease to be. This is very important. Suppose that your visual awareness is not identical to light or to darkness, then in the absence of light, darkness and space, can you determine what attributes your visual awareness might have in and of itself? In the absence of light, darkness and space, a visual awareness such as this would be no more possible than a turtle with fur or a rabbit with horn. Therefore, without these 3, light, darkness and space, how could your visual awareness come to exist? Since light and darkness are opposite, how could your visual awareness be identical to them? On the other hand, since your visual awareness cannot exist in and of itself and apart from these 3, how could it be different from them? Further, no division can be discerned between your visual awareness and space. There is no boundary between them. How is it that they are not identical? Yet, when you see light and then darkness, the nature of your visual awareness does not change. How is it that they are not different? You should examine this question in even greater detail, examine it minutely, consider it most carefully. Light comes from the sun, and it is dark on the moonless night. We see through space, but not through earth. But what causes our visual awareness, as we have just described it, to come into being? Its nature is to perceive, while space is insentient. So they cannot merge and become aggregated with one another, and yet our visual awareness cannot come to exist on its own without any cause. Given that the fundamental nature of visual awareness, awareness of sound, and cognitive awareness are all pervasive and does not change, you should know that the real nature of what we may consider to be the 6 primary elements, our visual awareness, infinite motionless space, earth, water, fire, and wind, which are emotion, are completely interfused with one another. In their fundamental nature, all are within the matrix of the thus come one, neither coming into being nor ceasing to be. Ananda, your basic disposition has become so murky that you do not realize that fundamentally, this one you pay attention, fundamentally your visual awareness, your awareness of sound, your tactile awareness, and the cognitive awareness are the matrix of the thus come one. You should contemplate your visual awareness, your awareness of sound and order, your tactile awareness, and your cognitive awareness. Do they come into being or cease to be? Are they identical to each other, or are they different? Or else, do they neither come into being nor cease to be? Are they neither identical to each other nor different? You still do not know that the real nature of your visual awareness is inherent in the matrix of the thus come one, and identical to your enlightened understanding, and that the essence of enlightenment is your illuminating awareness or pure awareness nature, fundamentally pure. It extends throughout the Dhamma rhyme, the extent of which beings are aware of their real nature or true nature depend on the capacity of the understanding, just as the awareness of one sense faculty, the eye, extend throughout the Dhamma rhyme. So also do the wondrous, resplendent power of hearing, smell, taste, tactile, and cognitive awareness extend throughout the Dhamma rhyme. They fill up the entirety of space throughout the 10 directions. How could they be limited to only one particular place? In fact, the primary element, visual awareness, become apparent to beings in accord with their karma. In their ignorance, ordinary beings mistakenly suppose that visual awareness come into existence from causes and conditions. There one is a note in there. All 6 consciousnesses are understood to be included in this. Similar passage throughout. Then I read on the top one. In their ignorance. So the word is ignorant. Ordinary human beings, mistaken, suppose that visual awareness come into existence from causes and conditions, or that it comes into being on its own. These are all distinctions and construct made by the conscious mind. So this one is very clear. They are merely words devoid of real meaning. Because this pure awareness nature, they are already there, understand or not? They are not born or one, but they are already there. It's just like the source. The first thing to come out is a pure awareness nature, and that nature is like the oneness nature, the unconditioned, no word, nothing but. But through the conscious mind, we created the words, the concept, the ideology, everything. Then we start to create meaning. We start to grasp, cling and hold. That's why the phenomenal world become like real. Then attachment, clinging, grasping. Because that pure awareness nature is the first to come out. But through our senses, it creates. Through the normal nature's laws process like the physics experiment. In the seeing is only the respective consciousness. Means seeing is only the seeing consciousness. No one to see. But the content went in. That is the mundane conscious mind. That one with its knowledge, views, opinion, conditioning and belief system that actually created the stirring and the movement, the deluded thinking. That's why false perception, not according to reality via the pure awareness nature that can see things as they are. This one is acting according to memory. That's how it becomes deceived, deluded, entangled. So that part, the last sentence is very important. That's why they say they were mere words. They are mere words, devoid of real meaning. So it's created by the mundane consciousness through words, through concept, ideology, everything. Okay, the final one is the seventh primary element, G. The seventh primary element of consciousness. Ananda, the nature of consciousness is that it has no real basis. Actually, when you are with a pure awareness nature meditating, you can see the creation process understand how it becomes thought. How it through the various sense law consciousness develop the movement, the stirring, the reaction, and how the content went in based on your conditioning, belief system, etc. Even your views, your opinion, your conditioning. So all this create the what they call knowledge that binds, where these knowledge are not wisdom. And this is how you have been conditioned into believing that things are like that. That's why your habitual tendency, your whatever ideology, views, opinion, conditioning and belief system, they always come in and interfere with what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactile feel and think. All these are your content of consciousness that you put in not through wisdom, not through the direct seeing, not through clear understanding, where these are knowledge that you accumulated through all your conditioning, whatever you learn since birth until now. And all this conditioning, without the pure awareness nature's direct seeing, you cannot see things as they are, you cannot comprehend the whole of creation. Means, like Krishnamurti's quote, you cannot comprehend the totality. Means you are fragmented. You only know a bit here, a bit there, all knowledge, but it's not the whole thing. And when you don't have the clarity of the whole, you cannot develop the wisdom to be like free from it. You cannot liberate from it. That's why it continue to entangle the living being. That's why I call it the enticing and luring, chaotic, phenomenal world of consciousness. So that one continue to draw you, lure you, entice you, and create the delusion for living being to grasp, cling, hold and give meaning. So all this arises through consciousness and its content. So our purpose of reversing all this through wisdom is to go back to the pure awareness nature, like what I draw last time. We have to return from the chaotic phenomenal world of consciousness back to pure awareness. And from here, see things as they are. Then we understand how we stir, how we react, how we get ourselves entangled, deluded, deceived. All through the pure awareness nature. Just like this one, silent, choiceless silent awareness. You just stay here. And you will see the movement. Then you will come to know. That's how delusion conditions the form of mind into emotion, fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation. So without the direct seeing to understand this movement, you cannot straighten your view to reverse all this. Understand? Then you cannot cease. You cannot see that all this creation that manifests, they have no basis. Mind make a day, like the Buddha said. Mind is the forerunner of all things, mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise, all creation arise. Then this form of mind, because it's subject to law of karma. If you don't do your duty, you get yourself entangled. The karmic repercussion, the conditioning, that's how suffering comes to be. That's how samsara comes to be. So this understanding, you will come to understand that without this sati, pure awareness nature or heedfulness, you cannot free. That's why thought-based, you cannot free. So now we are at the last primary element, the seventh primary element, which is consciousness. And the Buddha's analogy is, it's like a magician, create magic to deceive you, delude you. So it's like illusionaries that create illusion. That's why sometimes we call it the illusionary world. Another, the nature of consciousness is that it has no basis. No real basis. Means everything is unreal. Then I read the note down there, so here, 35. See what they write down there. Okay. So consciousness here includes the first six consciousness, means our basic sense basis. The hearing, seeing, smell, taste, tactile, and the brain, the memory, the thought process. The consciousness of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Correct. Okay, go back to just now. Okay. So it's coming into existence in response to the sixth faculty, and its object means the sense data is an illusion. This word is very powerful. It's an illusion. Where is an illusionary world? Where it's like the Buddha say, the analogy of consciousness is like a magician that creates illusion or delusion for you to see. Look around now at the sages assembly here, means all the monks, including the sainthood way, the bodhisattva, everything. As you glance from one to another, your eyes see them as if in a mirror, which does not make distinction. That is your pure awareness nature, understand? Before you perceive and create all those movements. But your consciousness will identify each of these sages. That is how discrimination comes in. That is how the creation through the input of perception, memory. So as you glance from one to another, your eyes see them as if in a mirror, which does not make distinction. That is your pure awareness nature. But your consciousness, once you put in the content, what happens? Will identify each of the sages in turn as particular name. Understand? Manjusri, Puna, Maitreya, Niputra, Mongala, Subhati, and Sariputta, etc. Now, does this distinction making faculty this primary element of consciousness arise from your eye faculty? No. Does it arise from the perceived object? No. Does it arise from space? No. Or does it arise abruptly without cause? No. Why? It arises from where? Yeah? Your memory, isn't it? Your conditioning, isn't it? Your so-called knowledge, isn't it? Everything that you learn, isn't it? That's why knowledge binds. There is a reason. That's why you must know how to actually use thought. Thought, like money, is neither good or evil. It's the user. When you do not understand that they have their own purpose, means thought depend on the user. If you know how to use thought, if the user is wise, then thought become wholesome thought, understand or not? Right thought, understand or not? But if the user is deluded, then thought become discriminative, understand or not? Where it don't have wisdom. That's why it discriminates. Then it creates division through what? Labeling, words, name, everything. That's what Krishnamurti saw. Ananda, suppose your primary element, consciousness, arose from your eye faculty, then in the absence of light, darkness, object and space, if none of these four were present, your eye faculty would not function. If your eye faculty were not functioning, what would cause your consciousness element to arise? That's why they cannot answer. Suppose your consciousness arise from perceived. This one is long-winded. They are trying to use word, and to me it makes the cultivator more confused than to understand. But when you understand, it's through the brain, the memory. But I don't know why in the Surangama Sutra at that time, they couldn't use this understanding to explain. That's why the memory thing, not until I heard the CD, the cassette in 1989, my last guide gave me, where he recited that acting according to memory is not acting at all. Suddenly inside me, like the whole thing rejoiced. That's it. Because that is what I saw. Acting according to memory is not acting at all. You have to act according to Dhamma understanding, which is wisdom. That's why after that I told my wife, I said, a lot of cultivators, even monks, they are caught in memories. And it's not easy to see that. So now you start to understand. Then the funny thing is, maybe the understanding is not deep enough to explain the Surangama Sutra at that time. That's why over the years until now, even the commentaries and all those things, they are still evolving, improving. Not until the one that have really truly awakened and developed the understanding, they cannot actually explain. But they will continue to use the like normally accepted explanation from the various commentary. That's why it has to evolve, take time for it to develop. Okay, so we go back. Suppose your consciousness arose from perceived object rather than from the eye faculty. In that case, you would not be seeing either light or darkness. Okay, this one we have gone through. Suppose your consciousness element arose from space rather than perceived object or all this. I think we can skip. Skip. This one all long-winded, wasting time. And based on space also can skip. Okay, we read the next paragraph. Suppose your consciousness appear abruptly without any cause. Why then does the moon suddenly start shining in broad daylight? You should examine this question even more closely and in more detail. Seeing is a function of your eye consciousness, like what I explained to you last time. The eye alone, the organ, don't see, understand now? Mind alone don't see. consciousness alone don't see. The three must come together as condition, causes and condition for its arising. Which means it's a condition arising phenomena. Without causes and condition, nothing arises. That's why the Buddha saw this, he said, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. And this statement is very powerful. So here in the Surangama Sutra, they are trying to probe all these 7 primary elements and ask the question, like repeat. It's because last time I think there was no writing, no recording. So everything has to be like repeated. Then only people can like slowly, I should say, it is through this hearing, conditioning, that you can like chanting like that, transmit it down and repeat it. And because it's done in such a way that one sense faculty to the next sense faculty, it's like create that conditioning for you to actually develop the memory. Because without the memory, without writing and without all this technological thing, you cannot retain the teaching. You cannot pass it down. That's why I don't blame them for the difficulty at that time. And I realize the sutta, a lot now, they repeat sense door after sense door. Even in the earlier Anatta Lakkhana Sutta also say, they repeat. But that is the era that Sakyamuni Buddha came. So because of that, all this will have to evolve. That's why over the years, I think Sakyamuni Buddha also knew, because if it's without the Bhikkhuni order, the Sasana will be 5,000 years old. With the Bhikkhuni order, at least still got 4,500. In fact, he will know. By then, the era of writing, technology, understanding all would have arisen. Then there are great beings who might have received training from many Samasa Buddha before that. And they will arise to teach, to share. That's why maybe it's like meant to be, and this process of commentaries, it will take time. Yeah. Okay, I will read on. You should examine this question even more closely and in more detail. Seeing is a function of your eye faculty. The perceived objects that appear in your environment have form, while space lacks form. Which of them could be the cause of consciousness? Consciousness is active, while eye faculty is still. And so they cannot combine and be aggregated with each other. The same is true of consciousness and the ear faculty, the nose faculty, the body, tactile and cognitive faculty. Yet the primary element of consciousness cannot come into existence on its own without a cause. See, everything is dependent originating. Given that the primary element consciousness is not caused by any of these factors, you should know that your distinction making eye consciousness, ear consciousness, body and mind consciousness do not come from anywhere. All are complete and pure and do not come into being from anything. The real nature of what we may call the 7 primary elements are completely interfused with one another. In their fundamental nature, all are within the matrix of the task one. How come it repeat? One line. Okay, the real nature of what we may call the 7 primary elements These last two, together with space, which is awareness and consciousness, are completely interfused with one another. But in their fundamental nature, all are within the matrix of the Taskam one. Then again repeat, no, and are one. So the word within and are one. Neither come into being, nor ceasing to be. Why make it so confusing? Just understand it that this sixth one, this is the primordial, understand? This one is there all the time, understand? It is when you move this one from spacious awareness and shrink it to a small space and input the content, it becomes the thought, understand? That's why this thought consciousness is the creator. No need to explain until using word. Because at that time, I don't know why they cannot develop the understanding. So this one is the most important. But from here, all things arise. So pure awareness nature is neither within nor what. It was there all the time, understand? But the rest are dependent originating, condition arising. Only this one is the unmoving primordial nature within. But from this, all creation manifests. So understand that, then you understand the whole thing. Okay. Ananda, your mind is causing shallow. You have not realized that fundamentally. Your eye consciousness, ear consciousness, and your discerning, distinction making, means discriminating mind consciousness, are all inherent in the matrix of the Taskam. It comes from that pure awareness nature, or the oneness nature. You should contemplate all of your six sense door consciousness. Are they identical to each other, or are they different? This one again make it very confusing. Forget about it. Move on. Yeah. Do they exist or are they? That's why when you ask, it make them more confused. And then they'll open up their mouth in awe, don't know what to say. Either they're neither identical to each other. Are they like, this one, never mind, skip. Then the Buddha admonished Ananda again. Your thoughts are too coarse, too superficial. Ananda doesn't stop and think or look into things. He's too impulsive and reckless. The word shallow refers to his mind. The mind, which is the opposite of his deep mind, actually true mind. In the verse he is about to speak, Ananda say, the deep resolve I offered in the my right Buddha land. This deep resolve I offer to the Buddha, the my right Buddha land. By this, may I repay the kindness shown me by the Buddha. He knows to make this deep resolve. But now the mind that is relying on is shallow. It's not his deep mind. He is not paying close attention to what is going on. Okay, then we move on. You simply do not know that the primary element, consciousness, is inherent in the matrix of the Taskam one and is the enlightened understanding. And that the illumination of enlightenment is the true consciousness. It is the wondrous and pure enlightenment that extends throughout the Dhamma. It consists all space throughout the 10 directions. How could it be limited to one particular place? In fact, it becomes apparent to beings in accordance to their karma, in their ignorance. Ordinary being mistakenly suppose that consciousness come into existence from causes and conditions, or that it comes into being on its own. These are distinctions and constructs made by the conscious mind. They are mere words devoid of real meaning. So that creative part is the consciousness. Always remember. Okay, we finish. Okay, we stop here. So for the awareness-based meditation, remember the four support, especially the first three. Relax body and mind completely. Then just silence the mind. Don't do anything. Silent. Silent means without thought, without verbalization, without chattering, without any thought activity or movement, just silent. Maintain awareness. Maintaining awareness means maintaining the silent mind. Then continuously develop this awareness. Whatever arises, it has to come from the six sense basis. So upon contact, find out what happened. Just allow it to arise. Then cease, no more. Aware, finish. Aware, finish. You can continue to relax and maintain the awareness. Then it will decondition your heedless thinking, your entanglement with the mundane conscious activity of mind. So that is how you stabilize your pure awareness nature. When you don't continue to perceive and create thinking, then the deconditioning of the mundane activity or thinking will start to slow down, until your mind becomes finally very quiet, very still. Then you experience the true mind, the silent mind. Then once you have developed the ability to be in that state of silence, you have already stabilized the first three support, which is relax body and mind, maintaining awareness, and you have stabilized it. Then from there onward, you just silence everything and find out what happened when you are without thought. Who are you? What are you when there is no thought? Then the mind that can stabilize without any what they call conditioned thinking, or without any control or suppression or a conditioned mind state, means a free mind, completely without thought. Then you are ready to do the fourth support, which is trust. Trusting your true nature, your pure awareness nature, to develop the meditative movement within. To do that, you just have to silence everything and stay at the heart area. Then let that pure awareness nature detect whatever that move or manifest in the heart area, including your heartbeat or any tactile vibration or activity. You just stay there. Awareness and the phenomena is one. Aware. Then it becomes very quiet after a while. Then the movement will happen by itself, until one day, when it detects the gateway to your nature, then a lot of movement will take place. The yin-yang energy, they will melt and become pure energy. Then you will develop the understanding after that. And whatever that transpire or transform within your form and mind that is aware will understand. Okay, now I let you meditate on your own. You can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Okay. So now we come back to second session, which is either Q&A or meditation reporting. Then you can ask me any question you like regarding the meditation or the teaching or regarding today's sharing. Also Dhamma in daily life.
Good evening, brother, Mrs. Steele, all Kaimitas. Maybe I thought about the last time I shared. The one that I say that I did mention one word, Pinti Jolly Dumping Come. This is the result of my pure awareness.
Yeah, very good, Sadhu.
Because you're already aware. I practice sati, mindfulness in everyday life.
Sadhu.
So you practice like solely in me, see. So whatever anything that comes to, for example, like meditation. So the thought, random thought comes in and our mind is a devil.
Correct.
So you know how to stop it.
Yeah.
So you want to continue your peace, so you just have to stop it. All this random, and then the notorious mind will come and disturb you.
Yeah.
It won't go away, man. I just say, you just ask them to shut up. After you come in, I just ask them, please go away. I just want to meditate.
After you have the understanding, you can do that. Because they are like the analogy that the Zen gave, gas of the mind. They keep on coming to distract you, lure you, entice you, and create all the what they call confusion within the form and mind. So if without the Dhamma understanding, the sati awareness to see and understand all this, a lot of living beings got entangled and they don't know how to come out of it. But when you understand that they are gas of the mind that come, some stay maybe for a while, but you don't have the understanding, it stay very long and make you miserable. That's why people get into depression. People get into like severe phobia, fear, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, because of attachment, clinging. But when you don't have any of this problem, when you are like happy-go-lucky, or when you have a calm mind, good life, then all this doesn't affect you. But for Cindy's case, it's different. He said after she had developed the sati, the awareness-based meditation, the understanding make her different. And the Cantonese phrase that she used is very good. Whatever happened, it's like Thiên Tịt rồi Tông Pei Cảm. It's like how to translate English. Like anything happen also, it will not affect you. It's like you are sleeping with the blanket or comforter warmly over you. So that scenario you can only be in if you have the understanding, but most living beings cannot. That's why I said, when you have the Dhamma, the awareness to see and understand, then the phenomenal world of consciousness loses its power to have any influence over you, or it loses its power to delude and deceive you into fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, especially suffering, entanglement. And a lot of this arises through deluded thinking, born of Sakyaditi. The fear that manifests from the egoic mind, that worry, anxiety. In fact, worry is very common when living beings encounter the phenomenal world or existential world, reality. The First Noble Truth is reality. They got no solution and they don't know how to attend to it. And most people develop the fear first, the worry first. Then they start to, through the worry, fear, anxiety, project their thought. And when they do that, they become worse. They develop further confusion, delusion, and entanglement. And sometimes all this fear develop into phobia, into what we call depressive mind state. And that fear can intensify and become panic attack and all those things. Then that fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and lamentation can make you miserable, really miserable. Then that type of suffering, that fear energy, that what they call dukkha, that manifests, that vibration is so negative. It can cause you a lot of mental suffering and condition your immune system to be affected. And when the immune system are affected, your health go down. That's why you become very sick. And sometimes that type of sickness can be very traumatic. Because it can lead to cancer, cell mutation, everything. So as we know, our body, almost 80% is liquid. So the crystal that are subject to that type of fear, worry, anxiety, that negative energy field, can cause the cell to mutate. The crystals within. That's why it will develop into cancerous and all those things. So all these understanding are very useful, very vital. So what Cindy shared is good. Sadhu. You continue, Cindy.
Yeah. As I practice sati, mindfulness living, as I said, my whole life has changed.
It has transformed her,
yes,
completely.
I see things in a different perspective anymore. I don't have the anxiety anymore.
Like the previous.
No more. My life is so peaceful.
Yeah, Sadhu.
Very, very peaceful. And lately also every morning I do my Puja. I take my Bodhisattva vow.
Very good, the religious routine.
Better. With the vow is fantastic.
Correct. It has become fantastic because it will take you along. It will transform your understanding, your cultivation, your progress. And many Kayamita who actually took the vow, the Bodhisattva vow, they report the same story. It has made their lives so much better. So all these are very positive outcome and result that you can see and witness through your interaction with people that really develop the cultivation. Then the other thing that we need to understand about life is, after you have understood the teaching, the Dhamma, you become very different. Then like every day, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, you are so different, like what Cindy mentioned. Then sometimes you can just sit there and appreciate life so much, even while traveling or while in another country or whatever. And whatever that arises, like Cindy mentioned, thought, they will come, they will go. But later on, as you progress, all these thoughts that manifest, arise and pass away, they will slow down. Then finally, after you have developed the stability of understanding, they become less and less, and there is clarity. That phase is even more beautiful. when you reach that phase, even in life itself, wherever you are, like I mentioned just now, whether traveling or at home or in Malaysia or in any location within the planet that you are in, you will have that type of mind that is so different. Then sometimes you can just contemplate and reflect to understand deeper about life and existence. So for me, it's like nowadays I used to like recall my early childhood day, all those things. The people whom for my nature interact with, including my parents as well. Just during that phase, you interact with different beings. And to tell you, surprisingly, a lot of these people, they have passed away actually. Even my university mate, many of them, my schoolmate, classmate, and people whom I came to know when I was young. Of course, they are older than me. One by one, no more. Yeah. But the memory of it, the conscious mind that has interaction with them, and no matter who they are, whether Puthujjana or what, most of them are Puthujjana. But there is something particular about the karmic process. The memory that flashes through or whatever, it has that unique character, and you can see why they are like that. And how come all this reality, like the First Noble Truth reality, that manifests and torment them and cause them all those things, even like birth, old age, sickness and death, separation, or whatever. Then career, marriage, life, or whatever. You can see the karmic formation. Then later on, when it comes to Kayamita, which is the later phase, also same. But Kayamita, we most of the time witness their parent, one by one, passing away. Like recently is Manyuan. Then later, once a while, you also receive news about Kayamita passing away. Earlier on was Leslie, Leslie, I think the Subangmana. Klang, yeah, she is from Klang, yeah. She's from Klang, but I met her in Paris. She came to Thursday class in Sui An's house. Then Dr. J, Janta. Then who else? Our Kayamita that passed away? Anybody else? Kayamita, I realize very few. Sally, yeah, and sister. That one is heart problem, long time already. That one expected. Then who else? So far only 3. So what I'm trying to share you is, with that Dhamma understanding, you can really appreciate life, live life, and there is no fear, nothing, like what Cindy said. Then there is like understanding that not so real, understand or not? Each and every of these form in mind, they are just consciousness that manifests and pass away according to their karmic conditioning. And the arising and their passing away is very beautiful. Then, like what the Buddha mentioned, alas, impermanent are all conditioned, arising phenomena. They are of the nature to arise, and they are of the nature to cease. So the understanding of such arising and passing away is true peace, true wisdom, and true understanding. That's why when you contemplate deep enough, when you see all this reality manifesting, then you know. Like I told Manyan, the father already 80 plus, almost coming to 90. And there are certain limitations to what the body can go through when it's time, during the old age or what, for all this to come. So we have to accept the reality through Dhamma understanding. And she did very well. She learned so fast, and she got so much joy and understanding. And this is very good for her, because the father also, I think, got blessing. That's why good life, long life. Then got Manyuan. Then he signed up for the silent mentor. And that one also taught me something, because I didn't know such thing existed. I heard about it, but I didn't Google and find out more until she sent me that one. Then I realized University Malaya, in collaboration with Tzu, they have started it since the year 2012, if I'm not wrong. I think about 2012. And this one is a very noble way, which Manyan told me the father actually wanted to fulfill this. And just now before the class, I think Pamasri also received must be the similar message that I received from Manyan. He said the father was very lucky. He said, at the moment of death, when she called up the silent mentor, they say they will take note and do what is to be done. Then later on, they came back and told her, "Oh, your father very lucky. There's one freezer left to keep the body, so it can fulfill their wish. Otherwise, they cannot keep the body. Well, when it's already passed away for too long, the body to them is not much use. So they need the freezer for them to preserve it and do all this work." So according to her, it was really a blessing, and she has so much joy. And the father even tell Manyan and the other sibling and the family members, "Don't worry." He said, when the time comes, remember to call his number, silent mentor. Then after that, you can go to work with it. No need to cry, no need to prepare for anything. Oh, he told Manyan. I said, "Oh, your father not bad." I said, "Very wise." He said, "Yeah, Lord." He said, you see, the father is a Buddhist, and he was with the Buddhist society, I think, long before me. Yes, the father is, I think, at least 20 over years older than me. So what happened was, I met the parent before. That time Manyan was still quite new, I remember. Then Manyan is supposed to follow us on this spiritual trip or what. Then the father been like caring, and mother, both parents very old. The mother is still around. So they want to know who am I. So they actually get to know me. Then they actually transport her. Then they saw me, met me, then we interacted. And I think the parents also heard about me. That's why they are very happy. They know it's in safe hands. Then one of our Kayamita Chupolian actually helped to look after the parent. I think end of last year, or was it end of last year? We went Switzerland, or the previous year. So that time, the parents were full of joy. But Chupolian almost every day was there. Then pass a message, everything. There was so much joy. That's why then this one, because according to Manyan, it was early morning, I think 1 week ago or what, pneumonia. You know, like old people, pneumonia very common. The lung got liquid or phlegm and all things, so admitted. Then the doctor didn't know. That's why they tried their best. Then later on, I told Manyuan, I said, how's the pneumonia? He said, well, still not much progress. But he said they are still trying to get the find out the cause to administer the antibiotic. I said, don't worry. I said, because this is old age, one of the first noble truth reality. So for her parents, it's already very old, 88, and at that age, it's quite normal to go through this. Then later on, I think she told me the father became unconscious on oxygen or something. Then later on, oxygen removed, and he came back consciousness, but still very weak. So I said, don't worry, this is part and parcel of old age and all those things. Then later on, the hospital called. Then she told me that hospital call means they know already from the what they call breathing pattern, the result. They asked them to go and meet the father and do what they want to do, maybe whatever last moment wishes or what. Then the mother very good. The mother said, come, we all go. Then after that, they did what they have to do. Then the next morning still okay. But the following moment, they received the message that he passed away 7:46 a.m., which is the day the news came up. So all this, they happen beautifully. That's why so far, this one I think is the most beautiful of the First Noble Truth reality on normal aging, the passing away that we have witnessed. So when you have the Dhamma and the understanding, that in her own word, she even sent to the Kayamita that she learned so much, and she thanked all Kayamita, including myself, for helping her developing all this understanding and condition. So I think these are the realities of life and existence, and Dhamma can allow us to reflect and contemplate on all this. And as you go through life, you will understand more. So this is the part I want to add. So I pass back to Cindy.
Surprisingly, I came back on 11. I reached home. Before I reached home, I went to, on Thursday, there's a Pasamalam in the Kayu.
Yeah.
I met her head on.
Sadhu.
So I gave her a hug. Then I asked her father, my father's still unconscious.
Yeah.
So I said, I shall chant again.
Yeah.
Continue chanting. I thought the father was okay. So surprised. Next morning I heard the news that was on.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful girl.
Yeah. She has changed so much.
Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Such a and last I did I carpool with her to airport when there was Juwasan trip. So I went to her house. So the parents saw me, especially the mother, keep on praising my Homage. I have such a beautiful daughter. 你真係好乖啊。
Yeah. Take care of them very well. Even her auntie, she also take care until she passed away. The Simon Yuan did a lot of good things.
I spoke to her father too. The father said, I have Dhamma books.
Yeah.
Bookshelf outside the house.
Yeah.
You want, they can take.
They are very good parents, good Buddhists. Yeah.
And we come back to my practice. So I don't know what's next step, but whatever it is, I just continue doing what I'm doing now.
Your puja, your bodhisattva vow, all they are very beautiful. But when you have developed the routine, your progress and your transformation become different. And when you go through that process, your life continue to become different. But this is the beautiful phase where you have the understanding with you. We call it motivator, the friction of your hard work. Then you can live the life with Dhamma understanding. And all this can actually give rise to the understanding of why, when you realize the Dhamma or true emptiness, you will have wonderful existence, good life. Then everything like becomes so different, no more like before. Four Noble Truth, the sainthood way type of Four Noble Truth, the reversal of that understanding develop. Life is no more about suffering. Life is about understanding this noble truth. And when you understand this noble truth, life becomes wonderful, meaningful, and everything like take a turn. And existence become like so beautiful, so amazingly wonderful. And then you can like live life to the fullest. Then you can experience the pristine beauty and wonders of life there and then, every moment, every instant. And everything is so pristine, so beautiful. That's why all this teaching, all this understanding, they are really beautiful. Sadhu. Cindy,
and I think because, you see, since I'm practicing, there's one book I took to Singapore, because wherever I travel, your small books are so useful. So I took Satipatthana Sutta.
Satipatthana Sutta.
I read it for a few days. Was in Singapore. Then I came back. Saturday I attended a birthday. This Bante Yasi. Birthday is on Saturday. The center is in Aradamansara. They have invited monks now from Sri Lanka. They chanted Satipatthana.
Yeah, very beautiful.
I'm so surprised I can follow,
Wow, sadhu.
It's too long, a few pages.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just was in, they would start chanting. I'm so surprised I can follow every word.
Sadhu.
My chanting is not that good.
Yeah.
But I myself, what happened? So I'm aware.
Yeah.
There you go, and just continue.
That's why there is joy.
There's joy inside. It took me by surprise, I could chant that, That was really fantastic. I was so happy.
Yeah.
So his birthday, so I gave him go there to give him an ang pao.
Sadhu.
That's why I say your teaching is fantastic. I think without you, I don't think I'm able to come to this day.
Yeah. It's not easy.
I will never find a teacher like you.
Yeah.
His explanation is so clear, simple, and direct.
Direct, yes. And applicable to life.
Applicable to life. Actually, I'm living the Dhamma life.
Yeah.
Can see changes as you go practice. My life become very calm, very peaceful. Whatever situation I'm in, I'm able to adapt.
Yeah, you can just develop the understanding to accord and flow and be at peace with all situations. That is the most beautiful understanding, and it's a gift from cultivating the Dhamma. Sadhu.
You have to be there to know what I mean.
Yeah.
You have to practice.
Correct. You have to develop the understanding yourself. That's why this is the noble path. Can only be realized by the noble ones, the wise ones, each for themselves. Yeah. Very good. Sadhu.
Anyway, that's what I would share, and I say thank you so much again.
Sadhu.
I'm forever grateful to you, Brother.
Yeah. Sadhu. Today I forgot to tell you, I add in this message before Eng Bee continue. We will have to end exactly at 6 because I have a dinner. I have to go back early. So we will end about 10 minutes before 6 o'clock. Then the other thing is, next Sunday, Father's Day. So we respect Father Day. So the class will be off. So you all can rest 1 week. So this was decided earlier on when I was discussing in Pamasuri. Okay, now Eng Bee, your turn.
Sugi Hutuk, Brother Teo, Mrs. Teo, and all Kalyamitas. Sadhu to Sister Cindy for your sharing. It's beautiful. Since you talk about chanting, so I would like to share a little bit on chanting also.
Sadhu,
Because SGBA has started with the 28 Buddhas protective chant.
Oh, good.
Since the 7th of June
Oh,
until 21st of June. 21st of June will be a grand closing, and at the same time with the exhibition of Buddha relics going to be brought over from Sri Lanka.
That is Father's Day, isn't it?
21st June, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Sunday. Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday, I remember it's Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday,
Father's Day is Sunday.
So it's from Sri Lanka archaeological department or something that should be quite authentic.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So it will be exhibited in SJBA. So from 7th of June that day until 21st of June.
They were chanting it,
We have morning and evening chanting every day.
Oh, sadhu, sadhu.
So I also attended
sadhu.
So sometimes I'm asked to become an MC during
very
the
good.
chanting, and then how to say, during the chanting we are led by two monks, and then since I'm the MC, I also hold the mic. Sometimes I back them up because it's quite
very long.
2 hours.
Very
2 hours
long.
chanting in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. So the mic is quite heavy. The mic is quite heavy, the old style.
Quite heavy.
So I was holding it in the Anjali position,
and
then quite many days also I have this feeling when I do the chanting, I participated together. The chanting and the vibration is together.
Wow, sadhu.
It's together.
Very
and then
good.
The holding of mic in the hand totally
totally doesn't affect you at all.
Sometimes when the consciousness come back, instead of awareness,
then that conscious mind will tell you again.
I think, hey, this one, you better be careful of the drop down or what. But later I go back into the chanting, it doesn't feel anymore.
It doesn't feel anymore.
Doesn't feel.
Because when there is sati, awareness, your body and mind as one, there is no thought coming in and interfere. Where the awareness is chanting together with the chanting in perfect harmony and synchrony. Last time when I did the dynamic meditation, I realized when my mindfulness is continuous, aware of the movement, until it can brush away that, what they call itchiness. It just like shave it off or no. No thought, no perception, nothing. Just shave it off. Then when I release it to test, it came back. Then talking about mind heavy. Actually, this mind is quite heavy. You all held it before. This mind is a very good mind. Most of us, we bought this good mind and it's heavy. So when I was new, I remember, in the early years, when I was using it, I'm not used to it, a bit heavy, But when the Dhamma come out, like Eng Bee went through, I forgot about the weight, everything, It just come out like that. But after so many years, I got used to it already, so this weight become like normal to me. But when I hold the wireless, it's like very light, very light. Very good, sadhu. You continue, Eng Bee.
This mic is very light compared to. So even when totally absorbed in the chanting. Really, it just chant and chant.
Correct.
You don't know what I'm chanting or
Correct.
I just
Because
follow.
that is the nature chanting actually. That nature chanting with joy, with faith, with understanding. Then it just come out. That's why straight from the heart. It just come out. And to experience that is not easy. You must have sati. You must have faith. You must have understanding. That's why sometimes when the monk can chant until that vibration actually has its efficacy. Because this faith thing, you cannot understand until you develop it. The faith, I tell you, can give you the extraordinary virya. Then it can develop like Mahayana chanting. From Saddha Virya, it develops the Sati. And the Sati, when it's stabilized, there is like a Samadhi inside you, without you realizing it. That's why that Samadhi like can make you like, all the other thing is not important. Even the heaviness of the mind or what doesn't affect you. And you can just continue your chanting and all those things. And this is the beauty of Dhamma cultivation. When you are in that state, I tell you are so different. That's why I remember in the early days, when I first came out to share the Dhamma, my nature was full of joy. Because normally I don't have a chance to manifest this so-called Dhamma understanding and share with the world. Then the first time I do it, I remember, the energy inside is very different. Like in the early day, a lot of Kayamita told me, say, brother, when you share the Dhamma, especially in the Tuesday class, Thursday class, Saturday class, you look so different. Then at the retreat also. Then when there is real good Dhamma question and topic to share, this one that manifests, a lot of them can feel my vibration or my energy. And you can really draw it. And you can really listen attentively. That's why it's very different. And for those who know how to listen, actually the sharing, most of it is not knowledge or what. No. You have the understanding and the affinity. The Dhamma that you receive is different one. It's very penetrative one, and it can transform living beings. And nowadays, I think the website that go out, there are some who can understand, surprisingly, that they got one lady, I think, Catherine something, I think. I sent out to the Kayamita for sharing also. She was listened to the retreat sharing by, I think she quoted my wife. Initially the sharing was by Sui, then later my wife. And surprisingly, she can understand, and she rejoiced with what my wife shared, all those things. He said they want to give her faith and all those things. That's why there are people who can, and that topic is not easy, it's about Paticca Samuppada. Sui was describing it through her own way and understanding. Then later on, my wife came out and said, I want to share from the earlier. I said, I don't know the theory on it. I don't know about that movement, but I can tell you what happened. And she shared, very beautiful. And this lady, out of nowhere, rejoiced. And he thanked her, thanked me, and said, this give her faith. And the faith is so strong and different. Means for somebody like my wife, also can understand until there. He said, means this teaching is real. And it is something that money cannot buy. The profound understanding behind. So, there are people who have that understanding actually. It's a matter of time when the affinity manifests. All this short video or whatever video that the committee, Jinhao, they all, Sui, they all help to generate, they are a real gem. That's why in years to come, our website is going to become very beautiful. Then a few days back, I think I heard Suhi say, the website, the one that helped us to protect, host the website, the whole company website cannot attack. that company down for one day. Then Sui, Jinhao, they all asked. The company at first say, we also don't know what happened. But the next day they came back. They say, restore everything. That's why sometimes it's hacker. But we were lucky. Luckily, we actually spent my Kayamita, we collected the funds, and only my Kayamita's fund can actually pay towards the upkeeping of the website, the subscription, everything. And luckily, we made the decision to subscribe. Although not the best security, but it has helped us a lot. We are in the early day, I remember, the first year, can I attack many times? The whole site, like, if you have not saved, the data gone now. But so far so good, I think. All the data were captured. Okay, Eng Bee. Sadhu. And another 6 minutes.
So even when sometimes I don't hold the mic also, just Anjali like that, also cannot feel the hand also.
Yeah, very good. Sadhu. That's why when you have Dhamma, when you have that Virya, the Saddha, and the Sati, you become very different. All this you can experience them. Good to share that, Sadhu.
And then the whole hall, all the devotees were there. They also can chant it very well.
Yeah. Because the leader, the MC that lead is good.
The teacher, the monks.
The monk also good. Yeah, of course. Because it need like an orchestra, understand? The conductor leading and all in perfect harmony. That's why the music actually unfold or unroll. Very good.
Many of them also very joyful.
Yeah.
From slow starting and then to a certain tempo become very fast.
Yeah.
And then getting more energetic.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of 1 hour, we take a 5 minutes break. Then become slow down a bit. Well, everybody is like rejuvenate. They all really rejuvenate.
You know what happened? This 28 Buddha is the Theravada one. This one, all the name of this Buddha that have actually come before through Sakyamuni's teaching, he actually named them. By chanting this with faith and understanding, you actually, without you knowing, you cultivate affinity with their nature. And their nature is everywhere. So the affinity that you develop to all this, that's why chanting has its efficacy. You can develop the interest, you can develop the affinity. Chanting the Buddha's name is like a very good way, even Mahayana, they practice it. The 4 hour, or whatever mantra, or like the Heart Sutra, or what, that the great being is noted for. You recite that, you chant that with sincerity and faith. It will bring about affinity. That's why you pay respect also same. You listen to their chanting also same. Then when you go to visit spiritual places, you pay respect, you develop the faith. Then like our annual retreat, the great beings' nature are everywhere. And you can develop it. And these are very beautiful conditions for cultivator of the way to develop the affinity. You remember the Lotus Sutra? Even in the distant past, you have recited the 4 hours of a Buddha sincerely, the word is. You develop the affinity and you are destined to fulfill the supreme vehicle cultivation, but maybe take very long. So that affinity is very important. Very good, Sadhu. Yeah.
Sadhu, and even the Venerable Indaratana also mentioned, he asked, any one of you face any not sleeping well at home at night. So many of them say, yes, it's due to the energy inside all of us. So I also face that. So even though I don't sleep well, but the energy is there, and
it's very strong, very strong, very strong inside. Because you don't need much rest, because if you know how to relax, follow our four support, relax and allow the mind to be, just maintain awareness. You draw the energy, you assimilate it in very fast, and you become very different. I remember in the early day, I hardly sleep on. Most of the time, I am aware inside. And with that type of energy, you become very different. Like you don't need much to rest. Even spiritual trip, you all go also same. You feel very energetic, but after you come back, you're very tired. You really like recuperate, rest, completely like collapse. But that is a good sign. When you are there, the faith keep you up. Your affinity, your spiritual nature's understanding, your nature's ability to draw and develop that understanding. These are all very beautiful understanding that cultivator of the way can never develop unless you do it yourself, unless you are involved in it. That's why these are good sharing, where the experience that cultivator develop has to be developed through personal experience, pacetang. And all this, like Cindy said, you can never understand until you walk the path. 6 o'clock already. 10 o'clock. 10 minutes. Very good. Okay, you wrap it up.
Okay, the last part is, just now I was lying down, so-called meditating, but actually I rested so well.
Wow, sadhu.
Physical body totally relaxed.
Yeah, you are relaxed.
But
sadhu.
I can hear my own snoring.
Correct. Yes.
Coming, going.
Yes.
But I knew the snoring is there. But
No problem.
I rested my body.
Correct. Yeah, because the body need to rest. Like myself sitting here also, that sound, one sound is very fast one. And it's because that nature is doing it. Then my nature is like aware. That's why I know. I think 3 or 4 times at least.
After enough of resting, the moment is even more beautiful.
Yeah,
because I'm fully aware.
Yeah, fresh.
Yes. Very
fresh.
refreshing, and then just continue relax.
Sadhu.
The alarm came now.
Yeah, sadhu.
Thank you,
very good. Sadhu. Let us rejoice. Sadhu. Today good sharing. Okay, we will share the closing puja. Akasata cha Bhumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang tang anumoditwa Chirang rakantu loka sasana Itta wata chamehi Sampadan punya sampadan Sabbe deva anumodantu Sabba sampati siddhya Idang menya tinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Idang menya tinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Idang menya tinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Devo wasatu kalina Sasa sampati hetu cha Fito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko Demina punyang kamina Mame bala samagamo Sattang samagamo hotu Yawa nivana patiya Sadhu. Okay, very good. You all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu.